Get through the morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
There's no other way to say it, and it's heavy, but we have to talk about it because we have a responsibility to shine a light on it. There is a domestic violence crisis in this country, Andrew Hayes. 34 women have died in Australia since the start of the year, and we've just hit May. And if you want to do the stats on that, that is one woman every 4 days. And it used to be one a week, and we're like, oh, that's really awful. And now that statistic shows it is just getting worse and worse and worse. And something has to be done. And I realised that with all this going on in the news, my anxiety and all the women around me, their stress on the streets at the moment is going through the roof. So I thought I'm really going to be conscious of my thoughts over a week and what I think as I go about my business. So just so you are aware, I start with waking up every single day. I walk into my garage and I'll lock my doors of my car and check the back seat before I even contemplate opening up my garage door. I'm not sure that's a thought that goes through the heads of men. I went to exercise after dinner the other night, and I thought walking the dark streets by myself is absolutely horrifying, so I made my husband and my dog come with me. Don't start me on running the Torrens where I've been flashed on 4 separate occasions. I went for dinner on Peel Street on Saturday night, and I left early because the girls wanted to kick on a little bit, and I got a cab on Hindley Street. Every single one of those girls from that dinner texted me to say, did you get home okay? Because that's their level of anxiety at the moment as well. I walked out of Pilates last night. It was 6:30. It was barely dark, and there was a man on the street just ranting and raving. He was off his chops, and he was just yelling obscenities. So I have my car keys in my hand poised with the key on the ready just in case he launches at me. So this is how we're all feeling at the moment. And bear in mind, I'm not one of the 500,000 women in this nation a year who are scared to go home because they don't know what sort of mood their partner's in. And they don't know what they're going to cop. And they don't know what they're going to cop in front of their children or what they might cop as well. Imagine being scared on the street, Hazy, and then walking in your front door and being even more frightened. This is absolutely horrifying.
That's something that most blokes can't comprehend.
Absolutely.
At all, including myself.
And there are so many good men out there. There are so many good ones, and I cannot work out the path that men go down where they think, it's okay to belt your missus around a little bit. Like, if she's annoying me, it's okay to give her a mouthful. Like, I don't understand where that starts. If you can help me on that, I'd love to hear you, because you are a great man who would never, ever contemplate laying your hand on your wife.
I think from my experience, it's purely environment.
Right.
It's purely the people that you surround yourself, and particularly as a youngster. So we grew up on the farm, and Dad was pretty old school knockabout bloke, but the most beautiful man that I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And by the way, my dad was if there was a scuffle at the pub between you and another bloke, you could belt each other and then have a beer after. That sort of old school operator. But the blanket rule was, under no circumstances do you ever lay a finger on any woman anywhere in any situation. And also, you do not swear in front of a woman.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of, and it's still in my head right now. I'd be more scared that if I was to get into a scuffle or did something silly to my older sister, that Dad would run around the corner and throw me into next week. Yeah. So I think that's where it starts from.
And will you have that conversation with your son?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as he's at the age now of 6 where you can start sort of getting into his mind a little bit, but as much as possible.
Is that what it's going to take? Is it going to take men like you, good men, to stand up to these abusers and these stalkers and shame them into saying what you're doing is horrific? Like, these are our mothers, our sisters, our aunties. Like, I feel like men don't know what to do. The good ones don't know what to do at the moment to help.
I think a lot of people don't know, and it sounds completely ignorant, but I'm one of them. They don't know just how bad it is. Because all the people in my life, in every situation, work, family, friends, it's an environment now which I can confidently say none of this sort of stuff exists, but it does exist, and it's ignorant for me to not know more about it.
Well, and that's why there needs to be more awareness. I think there needs to be education in schools. I mean, algebra, for goodness sake, give me a break. Can we speak to our young boys and teach them to respect women? And this is my biggest fear in my life. I live in fear that one of my girls, and I have 4 of them, will meet a man who will think it's okay to treat her like a possession. and will want to beat her down and worse, end her life because she is, after all, his, and if I can't have her, then no one else can. That is my greatest fear, that one of my children will meet someone like that. You know, imagine that for Lottie.
100%. And that's probably, that might be something that needs to be drilled into men to make a bit of a difference, to say, well, even if they were sort of half sitting on the fence, well, why would you try and make a difference? If you've got a daughter or a sister or a mother, there's women in every man's life. And imagine them going through something like this. It would make you want to turn the world upside down to think that your daughter was getting harassed in any sort of way. So that's where the tipping point for me would be like, well, let's absolutely try and do something different.
Anyway, there's a national cabinet meeting tonight and it's an emergency, and all our pollies will probably gather together and announce another inquiry. But I think Vincent Turley, who's a criminologist, voiced what we're all thinking on Q&A this week about the inaction from our politicians.
If a male has a history of crimes of violence, of any form of domestic violence, coercion, physical, emotional, they should not have the presumption of bail. For the immediate concern of the women here, they need to have that offender taken off the street to give them breathing space to get away to a women's refuge. You have patient dump people with mental health and drug issues onto the street, which are the underlying causes of domestic violence. It is more than just domestic violence. You don't need a royal commission. That money needs to go into frontline services now.
It's Jodie and Hazy on Nova. If you've got thoughts on this as well, please get in touch. 13 24 10, or you can text us 0400 919 919.
Kiara, how can a difference be made in this space, do you think?
I just want to apologise for my voice really quickly. I'm a little bit sick, sorry.
That's okay.
But I would like to say that there are a lot of good men out there. I'm very, very lucky to be surrounded by good men. But what makes them good men isn't that they don't hurt me, isn't that they don't hurt other women in their lives. It's that they stand up and they hold people in their lives accountable for the things that they say. Any jokes, any comments at the expense of women, they hold them accountable, whether they're a close friend, whether they're a stranger on the street. That is how good men become good men.
Yep.
I do also want to say on the topic of, yes, women can be abusers too. They are exactly right, and that is a conversation that we should be having. But we shouldn't be minimising the conversations that we're having around the women who are being abused by men just because there is another side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, Kiara. Thank you so much. Hope you feel better soon. Heather, your thoughts?
Good morning, guys. I actually went to the No More rally in Adelaide on Saturday, and that was extremely powerful, listening to the guest speakers. But I think more so was the conversation I had with my husband a couple of days after that. He joined me, and so did our 9-year-old, and asking him how he felt in that moment, he actually had to walk away. He said he felt in the beginning that it was a very hating men vibe. But then after listening to everyone speak about their experiences, I think he realised just how prevalent this is. Like, he has heard my stories of being a survivor and the experiences with my ex-partner and the lack of support from SAPOL and things like that. But I don't think he realised that the sheer volume of women that are going through this and the fear that we have. Like, we can't go for a walk, we can't exercise, we can't go out with friends. We're not safe at home, we're not safe on the streets, we're not safe at work. The police don't help us, and that's not because they don't want to. The system is not set up to protect us.
And by saying that out loud, by saying I am afraid to go outside after dark, by saying I'm scared to walk around the streets of Adelaide, that's not man-hating. That's not man-hating. That's just saying, as a woman, that is how I feel. So let's not confuse that point.
I asked my partner, my former partner, how he would feel if our daughter was subjected to the same abuse that I was. He could not draw the line between him abusing me and someone potentially abusing her.
Wow.
Because we are just possessions. We are just things that can be controlled.
Heather, I'm sorry you went. I just need to say I'm really sorry you had to go through that, and thank you for being brave enough to give us a call this morning.
Can I just say, though, a massive shout to all the awesome men that do have our backs.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a great call. Well done, Heather.
Yeah.
Very well spoken.
Tracy, you've had a conversation with your son about this?
Look, I did, Jodie. I was in a car park recently with my teenage son, and as we were loading the groceries into the car, the man next to us was berating his wife. He was absolutely laying into her. He was screaming at her. And whilst I couldn't hear much of the conversation, I could hear that it was not okay. And there were lots of people around. His window was open. No one said anything. And after my son and I had finished loading the groceries into the car, I went over as he was reversing out. And I stopped his car and I said, "You cannot speak to a woman like that. I'm sorry, I can't stand by and listen to this. It's not okay."
Wow.
And I said to the wife, "Are you okay?" And she looked at me with absolute aghast that anyone would say anything. And she said, yes, I'm okay. And I said, the man said, you don't know the scenario. And I said, there is no scenario. This is not okay. You cannot speak to a woman like that. I don't care what you think the scenario is. None of it's okay. I said, you are a disgusting example of how a man should talk to his wife in front of my young son.
Yeah.
And my son was absolutely mortified and pretending that he didn't know me, obviously, in a car park. And we drove home and my son said to me, "Look, Mum, I'm really proud of you. Well done for standing up for that lady. And you're right, I would never speak to a woman like that."
Yeah, well, that's good, Tracy. Well done. Gosh, it's a fine line, isn't it? It's a really fine line, Hazy. I had a situation where I was in the Parklands once and there was a man who was absolutely ripping into his partner who had a pram. And in that moment I froze because I didn't know what to do because I was frightened for my safety if I walked over with my children and intervened.
That's it as well. Like, you've got to think about your own safety.
Yeah,
as well.
but Tracy, wow, she had some guts.
Yeah, and everybody who's got in touch with us this morning for sharing their stories as well, really, really brave.
Yeah.
And well done. That's the first time. And anyone affected in any sort of such space, there's obviously platforms where you can get involved to get some help. Lifeline 13 11 14 and also the domestic violence hotline 1-800-RESPECT. That's 1-800-737-732.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post-snooze news.
Wake up, the first thing you do is turn on your phone and you scroll through all the information and think, oh my God, this is too much for me.
Big time. You need it condensed, don't you?
Yep, that's why we've got newsreader Abby.
Good morning. How are we all this morning?
Thank you. What are the top stories today?
So one of the top stories for Adelaide today is that Illuminate Adelaide is coming back, obviously, for July. This is the 4th year and the full program is being launched today. So we already know that Fire Gardens is going to be happening, which is basically 7,000 handcrafted pots with fire in them, and it'll be all through the Botanic Gardens. Aww. Looks really cool. I'm definitely going to be attending that. But yeah, basically full program's out today. We've got the Universal Kingdom Prehistoric Nights, which is coming back to the zoo. So usually they do these big, huge creatures, light up creatures. Yeah. You can walk through the zoo. Really cool thing to go to. We're not getting told too much else until we do a media call at 10 a.m. So I'll head along and get the goss and be able to give you a bit more detail.
Finger on the pulse.
Later.
Here's a question for you. Did you go to the launch of Tina Turner, the musical, last night?
I didn't last night.
Didn't
missed
you?
that one. Oh. Yeah, had a few things on, so had to say no, unfortunately.
Next time.
Shame.
Newsy.
Also, what is a shame is that Britney Spears, can you remember a little while ago in 2021, a judge said, Britney, you can have all your money back. Oh. So restored her autonomy from the conservatorship. I can never say the word.
Conservatorship. Yeah, that's it. Nailed it.
Anyway, she got her $60 million estate back. Well, apparently 2.5 years after regaining her freedom, Britney is blowing through her finances at a rapid rate.
Not overly surprising, is it?
No.
But I feel like it kind of is, because all she does is stay home and do videos and play with knives.
Yeah. It's a very odd situation for Britney.
I feel like Britney could be one of those people she'd buy like an amusement park or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Really spend it in places where it's not going to get her much money back.
Yeah, apparently she's just got no concept of finances and she's just ripping through her cash. But surely Britney will get royalties for the rest of her life.
Yeah, you'd assume. So it's weird that she is blowing through so much cash.
And if she did want to, I'm assuming now maybe it's sort of owned by someone else, but when you see some of these artists, I think Rod Stewart did it.
Yep.
Where you can sell the rights to all the music. He sold it for like $400 million or something.
Yeah. Right. Apparently last year she dropped hundreds of thousands of dollars on a single trip to French Polynesia.
Yeah, cool.
She was staying at a resort which cost upwards of $23,000 a night.
I bet it did. And they saw her coming too. She's like, "Hey, can I just get a glass of water?" Like, "No worries, that's $600. She goes, "Here you go."
Yeah. One of her mates said she's not going broke, but she should keep an eye on the private jets.
You've got to though, don't you, Abs? Sometimes you can just get out of
They
hand.
do creep up. I got my bill for last month and I thought, I've got to tighten that up.
That's
I
enough
really
for
do.
me.
Tighten it up slightly.
Cara Hayes has got a conservatorship over Hazy.
He kind of does.
He can't. He doesn't know how to spend money.
Yeah, well, she
You
does.
get an allowance, don't
Yeah, I
you?
get an allowance each and every week. Sometimes I sort of tiptoe on going over this.
Well, do you know why you go over? Because of your bacon and egg rolls.
No, I don't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, you have cut back.
Yeah, I've cut right back. And I don't do lunch out anymore either. Like I
Wow.
usually bring my own lunch.
What do you bring for lunch?
I try and make a sandwich at home. Or I just get a couple of tins of tuna and some rice. What a really, really boring life I have.
Do you get the guilt? It's like when you message Cara to say, "Hey, I need more money." Do you go, "Oh, hey,
Excuse me, Cara, I've run out of tuna. Can I have some more tuna money?"
Yeah, 100%. And she
she's-
makes me write out an Excel spreadsheet as to
And
where
she
the
says,
spendings
"There's
are going.
food at home, so come home and I'll feed you."
Sounds like she's some witch. She's not.
She's not.
She's not.
Newsy.
Hey, let's wrap this baby up with some showdown news. The latest. Connor Rosie, as it stands right now, is in.
Oh, gosh.
What's going on? This is amazing. You passed the fitness test yesterday, although the cameras weren't there.
Well,
Cameras
because
got kicked
they're
out.
not
when he
allowed to
came out.
be.
Well, they're allowed for the warm-up, and then when the action was there and everyone was just waiting for Rosie, he finally came out, but the cameras are gone. The timing was just not there, unfortunately.
Miss Port wouldn't know about that.
But,
They would have been completely unaware.
Well, the media's still allowed to watch, just weren't allowed to film. Anyway, he had some set shots of goal, did some run-throughs and got through, and then spoke yesterday and said, look, he's in right now. He passed all his tests.
Yeah, right.
He's got to get through today, though, which is the captain's run.
Yeah.
And then you feel like this could have been one of those ones where it's right up to the bounce whether he's going to play or not.
I feel the words last-minute withdrawal.
Head games, is that what you're saying? For the Crows, Dan Curtin, their top pick from last year, number 8, will
Yep.
make his AFL debut, so that's exciting for Crows fans. He's going to wear the number 6.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, a bit of pressure when you wear the number 6. No one's done it real solid justice since Tony Modra back in the day.
Oh, big mods. So you should want to be good-looking if you're pulling on the number 6 jump, wouldn't you?
What about Tony Modra back in the day? Seriously.
Godra.
I've seen some of the photos. Wasn't he just... He was heavenly.
Just a dream
He
boat.
was absolutely heavenly.
Do you need a few minutes, Hazy?
I will, actually. Let me just punch in the break and I'll see you in about 3 or 4. I only need 2 minutes, that's fine. 9 minutes past 6, Jodes. While I'm freshening up, can you get ready to drop the first question for the 6:15 vending machine quiz?
Sure.
Thanks. Thoughts on Doja Cat?
I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
Really solid emerging artist.
Good song.
Yeah, really good song. Heavily edited, it must be said.
Oh, is this the radio edit?
This
as they
is the
call it?
radio edit. The other version's a little bit blue.
Yeah.
In fact, her subject matter across the board is generally quite blue.
We
if you
play
know
this
what I mean.
version so that all the little kiddies in the cars go, Mummy, what's a booty? And I sanitise that too.
Yeah, they certainly do. So much so that she's taken to X. She said, IDK, whatever that means. I don't know.
I don't know.
What the FK you think this is, but I don't make music for children, so leave your kids at home, mother trucker. Or something along those
Oh,
lines.
something vaguely like that.
Yeah, she's been very, very solid. It raises a pretty interesting point. It's not linked to Arj Barker, but what are you doing taking your kids to a Doja Cat show?
No. I
A
know.
bit heavy, isn't it?
Well, I will say that, but I have been in a situation where I've taken my kids along to things where I've gone, oh, that should be okay. And
Well,
then
you
get
shouldn't have taken them to that Cardi B concert. It's outrageous.
But then halfway through, you're like, whoa, this was a massive error.
Yeah.
But Doja Cat, you know what you're getting, don't you?
Well, I think so. You're getting a really solid hit of blueness, if that's actually such a thing.
And profanity.
So I think the big struggle now with parents is kids want to see some of these shows that are fun and upbeat and really cool, but, I mean, how old do they need to be? How blue is going to be? Well, guess what, Jodes?
What?
I found a bloke who combines both worlds absolutely beautifully.
Oh, what?
Yeah, his name is Lenny Pierce.
Yes.
He's a DJ and he remixes kids' songs. And they're absolute bangers.
Wow.
That's right. This bloke is going viral for remixing like genuine kid songs, including a bunch of Wiggle songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's teamed up with the Wiggles, but also even some of your old school, like genuine fairy fables. Is that what they're called?
Fairy tales?
Not fairy tales, like genuine fables. Those kid songs from like years and years and years ago, back in the day.
Nursery rhymes.
For example, shake your booty to this one.
If you're happy and you know it, and you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Here's the beat. You ready? Ready?
If you're happy and you
That's what it's all about.
Oh, my God.
You've got to find a mix.
Yeah.
Just somewhere where the kids and mum can meet somewhere in the middle.
I feel like at this point, after listening to that, I need a glow stick, I need a popper, and one of those roll-ups. That's the mood that puts me in. It's weird. I don't understand it, but that's where I'm at.
Just a combination of everything.
What the fork?
What the fork?
What the fork is happening?
Best times of the week.
Yeah. So what the fork, born out of the fact that, well, every time you go to an office workplace and you go into the kitchen, there are no forks ever. We drilled down and discovered that newsreader Abby was stealing all of ours.
Yeah, and not just ours, but also every workplace across South Australia.
Mate, you should see her. Telstra, she's off at Telstra.
See her house. Mate, she lives in a house made out of forks.
Yes, that's my plan, is that house prices are too expensive. I'm single and I can't afford it on my own, so I'm going to build a fork house.
You're going to build a fork house.
Yeah.
And if you're a spoon, don't bother coming over to visit.
Oh, yeah, good luck.
I don't spoon.
You
Sorry.
don't belong here.
Don't touch me. Stay away from me.
Oh, yesterday we're having a really nice sort of humble, wholesome conversation about kids in South Korea with pet rocks.
Yep.
You know, stock standard Tuesday things. And then all of a sudden Jodie said something which made me go,
What the fork?
What the fork?
yes. I sort of veered it back in the direction of Tasmania and what potentially Jodie used to do to beat boredom and loneliness as a youngster in the apple aisle. And here we go.
I used to collect erasers.
You used to what? Collect what? Erasers? Like rubbers? Oh, my God. Yes.
What the fork?
What
Yeah.
the fork?
You want to just sort of double down on this or
So-
give us a bit more?
Well, I did, but they weren't just like ordinary erasers that you'd buy from Coles. They were novelty ones, so they smelt nice, or they were shaped like a strawberry or a guinea pig, or you know what I mean, like the little animal ones or fruit ones.
Where do we buy such guinea pig shaped erasers
Just
from?
from Kmart or your newsagent, and just to give you a real insight into how lonely my childhood was. The early days of high school, I didn't know anyone, so I didn't have too many friends, so I developed a real addiction to one of those toy claw machines that came up that were 20 cents at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to steal money off my mum's change drawer,
Yeah.
and then go down to Kmart and just play that all day, every day.
What a crazy addiction. What's rehab like for that? 13 24 10.
Real heavy 10-day detox for a
Yeah, I
start.
bet. 13 24 10 for What the Fork. The weird stuff that you were into as a kid.
Yeah.
Jodes doesn't mean to, but she's leading this topic so effortlessly.
Because of my sad, depressing Tasmanian childhood. Is that what you're saying?
The strange little things that you were into as a kid. Oh, I had such a giant collection of Tarzos, but also basketball cards. Oh no, Tarzos. You didn't know what Tarzos were? What? Oh my god.
Hashtag Tassie thing.
Oh my gosh.
What the fork?
What the fork?
We're
the
veering off
Tarzo?
into a different What the Fork.
Tarzo? What is a Tarzo? Show me.
Oh, Jodie.
They're little coin-shaped things with mainly Looney Tunes characters on them.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't really much of a weird obsession.
Oh, they're coming to Hobart next year.
Yeah, good luck to them. 13 24 10, the strange things that you used to collect.
Why do
as
I
a child.
feel like newsreader Abby would have done some really weird stuff as a kid?
I want to preface this by saying I said to Mum and Dad last night, I said, what did I used to do that was weird as a child? And Mum said, oh, nothing. You were just sort of like a normal kid. And I said, are you saying that I was perfect? So apparently I didn't really do anything weird. The one thing I did do, though, as a toddler, when the Channel 9 news theme came on, I used to get up and dance. So that's kind of weird.
It's not really the type of banger that gets you going.
No.
Funny that I ended up a journalist. But, yeah, apparently I didn't really she used to lose me. She'd be in the house and all of a sudden 2 hours later go, oh, my God, where's Abby? And there I was down playing by myself in my room because I was the third child. So, yeah.
Okay.
I've got to be honest with you as well. When the Channel 7 news comes on as well, particularly when that bloke goes, live from High Marsh, Will Goodings, I'd tell you what, my hips are shaking. Rosanna Mandrelli.
Oh, yeah.
13, 24, 10. The weird stuff that you were into as a kid.
Yeah. Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Good. What were you into as a kid?
It wasn't me. It was one of my best mates when I was about 10 used to collect teapots.
Didn't see that coming.
No.
Teapots? How the hell did that start? And how many did he or she have?
I'm not sure actually how it started, but I reckon he had at least 30 of different sizes, shapes, of different countries. It was quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's incredible. How, as a 10-year-old, do you go, do you know what I like?
Yeah.
I like teacups.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Hey, Daniel, are you friends with this person now?
Yes, I actually am.
Yeah, right.
I wonder, and do they still have the teapots, or do they get to the stage where like, what am I doing here? And they got rid of the teapots, but then you'd wonder now if some of them would be such antiques, they'd be worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got rid of them, but I don't know. He might have kept some.
Yeah.
Who knows?
One of the greatest nursery rhymes of all time, I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
Cracking.
Here's my
song.
handle, here's my spout.
Yeah,
And then dip me over and pour me out.
absolutely. Fresh hits on Nova. Natalie,
Hello.
what was your little obsession as a youngster?
I'm actually with Jodie here. I also had an eraser collection, so I actually can support you on that. But
Come here, my soul
also
sister.
I actually had a sticker collection that I used to put in a photo album.
Yes.
It's so sad now when I think about it. But I collected any kind of sticker, whether it was shiny, animals, you name it, I had it in that photo album.
Were they your scratch and sniff, Nat?
No, this was before Scratch
shame.
and Sniff, so this is why it seemed so embarrassing because they had nothing about them that was really special.
Yeah,
but
right.
I just had this thing that any kind of sticker that I found
Yeah.
that I would put in this photo album and then show other friends, which is really
There you go.
embarrassing.
Do you know what, Natalie? I bet you it was a stunning album. Absolute stunning album.
Thank you for actually reassuring me there, but I don't think
Do you
so.
still have it, Nat?
No, I don't. I got rid of that when I was a teenager and looked back on it and went, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I wish we could have compared eraser collections back in the day.
I actually had a little ice cream that had
Yes.
like a little, and an umbrella, and I had all different ones. So I actually know what you were talking about because I too had one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Natalie
She's
and
from
Joe.
Tassie too, isn't she?
A genuine eraser party.
Yep.
What an absolute hoot that would be.
I'm going to hold one. All the listeners with eraser collections can come along.
Oh,
There'll
very
be me
good.
and Nat, and that'll be it.
Yeah, absolute. What an absolute going off party that would be. Good morning to you, Tracy.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. Okay, what did you collect as a kid?
Okay, so Jodie, I'm with you and Natalie and everyone else. I did also have an eraser collection.
Oh, my God.
However, I'm hoping you remember I had a buckle bag. You used to have a buckle bag where you used to be able to collect all these key rings and things and hang them off your bag. And I used to have one of those.
Oh, I do. Oh, yes. 100%.
That's not like a bum bag, is it?
It's like a bum bag.
No,
Well,
it
kind of.
was like a fake leather bag. You thought you were quite posh back then.
Yeah.
And it had like a buckles on the front, and you used to be able to hang all your key rings off it, and it was a buckle bag.
And
it was the most fashionable thing back then.
Yes, and did you ever hang a Twisties packet off your buckle bag that you'd shrunk in the oven?
I had Twisties, I had Sandboy salt and vinegar, I had plain. We did all the chips and shrunk them in the oven, yes.
Tracy, I feel so vindicated. Thank you so much. Oh, I
You're
love
welcome.
you. Thank you. Let's go to Danielle.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What weird things did you collect as a kid?
My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that jingle? My Little Pony. I love my little pony.
Nice.
I had all the sparkles, the ballerina,
Yes.
the baby ones, but I had to get all of them for every one they brought out.
How many did you have, Danielle?
Oh, 500, and I still have them.
Whoa. That is an outrageous number, Danielle.
Right. Do you have a special little place to put them?
They're actually packed away in a box so the children can't play with them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not shared.
There you go. Do you reckon, Danielle, like one day, and maybe even now, they'd be worth something, like as a genuine collector's item?
Oh, I don't know, but my obsession with horses, it started quite young.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just love that My Little Ponies brought Danielle so much pleasure as a child, and then to her kids, she's like, you will not touch them ever.
That's my pleasure.
Mel, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good. What did you used to collect as a child?
Well, you've just brought back a whole lot of memories for me. I also was a eraser collector. But it gets better. I still have a jar of them, but also I was part of an eraser club in Hindley.
An eraser club.
And you get a T-shirt. You used to get notifications of new erasers that would come in. And they had a little shop in Hindorf, and you went and bought your erasers. It was awesome.
The eraser club. Can I ask, Mel, the Christmas parties, what were they like? They must have been crazy.
Everyone got erasers. Oh,
Goodness.
seriously.
Whatever prize we have in the cupboard.
Very sad.
Whatever prize we have in the cupboard, can you give to Mel? And hopefully it's a 12-pack of erasers.
Oh, unfortunately, just missed out. We got rid of all our erasers last week, Mel. But
And Jodie, I just want to say too, I do agree with you with the chip packet. It was just a normal chip packet you put in the oven and straight.
Thank you.
Who are you people? Hey, Mel, would you like some tickets to Potted Potter?
Oh, I would love some tickets to Potter Potter. Thank you. This is the first time I've ever got through, so I'm very excited.
Oh, excellent. Good to
I
have you.
listen to you every morning. So thank you.
Thank you. No, Mel. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
I would love to know if anyone else was part of the Hindorf Eraser Club.
Oh, there you go. Let's put the call out there. The Hindorf Eraser Club.
13 24 10.
Who thought there was such a thing that exists?
Give us a call.
Please get in touch with the show. The Smash West End Harry Potter parody. Adelaide Dunstan Playhouse from May 10 to 12. Visit pottedpotter.com.au.
Can I just round this out by saying one thing to you and newsreader Abby? Who feels stupid now?
I'm still pretty comfortable, Abs. What about you?
I'm still good. Yeah, I'm good.
I don't think I'm alone, Andrew Hayes, when I say I don't really understand AI or the impact that it's going to have on this world as we know it.
Yeah, I've seen iRobot, though, with Will Smith. Real scary.
Have you?
Yeah, really scary stuff. Because
it's scary that you're watching a movie with Will Smith.
Yeah, 100%. That's scary in itself. But the fact that these robots potentially just could be so smart that they turn on us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're doomed.
Well, also, you should be a little bit nervous if you are in a profession that could be overtaken by AI technology. And these are the ones most likely to be replaced in Australia. Do you want to hear them?
Yes, please.
So anything to do with office support, apparently.
Office support, what does that mean?
I don't know. Just office support. Customer service as well, they're saying, can be replaced by AI. Sales.
Oh, but sales, you've got to think quickly on your feet,
well,
don't
my
you?
husband's in sales. It's all built on relationship sales.
Yeah, that's true. Your husband can sometimes sound like a robot, a really, really quick robot. Turn him down. His settings, he's up too quick.
Food services as well. In fact, McDonald's has opened up its first automated restaurant in Texas.
Wow.
What about that? So you go through the drive-through, it's all AI. Isn't that weird?
Okay, so that's interesting. It feels like at Coles and Woolies that AI is almost sort of half started with the self-service checkouts.
Yeah, but I hate that. I hate it. Don't you go to it, like I go to my Coles and I'm like, please just give me a person with a conveyor belt. I just want to have a quick conversation, but have someone do it for me because that's the service that I'm paying for.
Yeah, but there's a person there.
I don't pay to stand there and do it myself.
Yeah, but there's a person there. It's very hard to steal from them when someone's there watching. I'm joking, obviously.
Oh, dear. It's very hard to put your salmon through as, pork chops, for example.
Yeah.
Everyone's
looking at producers.
Call centre workers were at the top of the list to be replaced by AI.
There you go.
The world's first fully AI-generated film is almost here as well. What about that? Using AI to create a whole film. It's a new frontier. It's called Next Stop Paris. And it's a romantic story between Claire and a man she meets on a train to Paris, and it's described as an AI-powered love story.
Wow. Okay, we've got a bit of a clip of
Do you
it
want to hear
here.
the trailer?
Let's see if you can pick up whether it's actually robots or not.
So, Claire, what's your style?
The City of Lights. I'm hoping it's a new start. Maybe you're the dark, mysterious kind of man who never shows his vulnerability.
Maybe you're the kind of woman who's never sure of what you want.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't you
I feel
sort
attacked.
Yeah. Don't you sort of feel like it's not quite as fluent as it should be?
Yeah, but then you see, when you watch the trailer, they're strolling through Paris and the Eiffel Tower's in the background, and it's just two robots sort of walking along holding hands. Anyway.
We are in love.
Yeah, we are. I love
What
Paris.
about radio announcers?
Oh.
Are we in danger?
It doesn't say that in the 1.3 million jobs that will be lost over the next couple of years.
Watch this space, Joe. It's because what's happened over the last sort of few weeks is AI has been listening to us and done their own sort of little impersonations of us.
Oh, no.
Do you want to hear me first?
Sure.
It's all done individually as well.
Okay.
It's a little bit scary. See if you hear this and it sounds accurate enough that you would think it was me in real life.
This is Nova. Whoops, I said the wrong song. Ha 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 ha. The text line 0427. Wait, that's SEN. Ha 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 ha. I make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, my Jesus Christ, that's accurate.
That's pretty accurate.
That is on point, AI. Well done.
This is crazy. They did you as well.
Oh, no.
All right, tune in.
Hi, this is Jodie Oddie on Nova. I'm quite terrible at song. Ha ha ha. I love Greg's lol. I missed out on things because I was born in Tasmania.
Oh, my God. Was that you or AI?
I'm
That's
so
quite
confused at
crazy.
this point. They just meld into one, don't they?
What's real anymore? Finally, as well, they did newsreader Abby. This could be very confronting.
Hi, I'm Abby. Ha ha ha. And now you're up to date on Nova. I hate you.
They nailed that.
They absolutely nailed.
Jelly on the belly, flying through the valley, singing Nelly with the jelly.
Oh, please welcome to the show, Josh Rochelle.
Yes, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Rochelle live in the flesh.
Yes, and we've just been getting Josh up to speed with a few of the videos and the photos of you from the team wedding that we had last week. Your thoughts, Josh, of Andrew Hayes hanging from the rafters?
Yeah, it's quite impressive, but yeah, it's something I typically think Hazy would do definitely at a wedding, gets carried away.
But also, just to peel the curtains back, first thing that Josh said was, why do you try and do some chin-ups? and he's spot on.
It's a solid question.
I regret that, Josh.
Hey, Josh, showdown tomorrow night. The Crows have had the wood on Port in the last, 4 outings, has it been?
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. How are you feeling going into this match? Do you think you might sneak up on them again?
It's a hard question because Port are in some terrific form at the moment and we've only obviously won the 2 games, so it's going to be a hard-fought contest. It always is with the showdown, so they've had some unlucky injuries and not too sure what they're doing with Connor Rosie yet, so pretty excited.
Do you think, just be open and honest with you, do you think he's going to play, or is this a bit of
Ducks
head
and
game
drags.
type thing? Do you think potentially it could be a late out?
I think it's a head game. I really think that, especially with how quick the game turned around and a hammy injury. You wouldn't want to risk too much with that.
Yeah, and how much of a difference does it make if he's there or not, honestly?
Oh, massive. Like, obviously, he's one of their best players, him and Zach Butters, and being the captain as well. He's had a great start to the season too, so it'd be a massive out for us.
I want to ask you about an Instagram post that you put up, and I think it was after last week. You went over to your mum and gave her a kiss on the cheek. But Hazy noticed this, actually. What was really nice is you wiped all the sweat off your face before you kissed your mum, and she's like, "Hi, darling." You're like, "Hi, mum." It's very wholesome.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I try and see her before most games if I can. But yeah, that time I'd warm up pretty. I was sweating a lot, so I was like, I might get all this sweat off. It's a bit gross.
Yeah.
She doesn't care, obviously, being my mother, but I was like, yeah, it's a bit gross. I'll give her a kiss.
What sort of a mum is she?
Oh, she's the best. And because it was a Carlton game, I had so many cousins there that go for Carlton, and I was pretty adamant I wanted to beat the Blues, and Mum was on my side. So, yeah, Mum's the best. She's very compassionate, very loving, and one of the most caring people I know.
I think you were a little Blues supporter growing up, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
There you go. Crow for life now. Don't worry about that.
Bit of a question without notice. We've been talking this morning about the weird things that you collected as a small child. Did you have any? Well,
Just before we get into this, Josh, just to give you a bit of context,
Okay.
Jodes grew up in a beautiful part of Australia, Tasmania, as we know. She used to collect erasers, as in the things that you use to rub things out.
But they were like novelty ones, like little strawberries
Yeah,
and little
yeah.
frogs and things.
Yeah, that's cute. A lot of alone time. A lot of alone time.
Did you have any collections as you were growing up?
Oh, collections. Not necessarily. I loved soccer balls back then, so I used to get as many soccer balls as I could.
Soccer balls?
Yeah, that was probably the main one.
Well, just on that as well, we said text us through on 0400 919 919 if you've got any questions for Josh. This one from Nicole from Hawthorne. She said, how old were you when you started playing Australian rules football?
I was a kid like most kids, so probably 4 or 5, and soccer was the same. Whenever I could start kind of kicking a soccer ball or footy, Dad chucked me in the deep end.
Yeah, you're one of those annoying blokes that had to genuinely make a choice.
Yeah.
As to which professional era he'd go down.
Yeah. You've also got a teammate making his debut this week. We went back and had a look at your stats. You kicked 5 on debut. That's not a bad start.
Not bad.
Not a bad. Haven't done much since. So.
But what would you be going through? And give us an insight into Dan Curtin.
Yeah, Dan, me and Riley Thilthorpe both gave him a word, said we've kicked the 5, so let's see what you can do
Yeah.
first game. But Dan's he's a very interesting character. He's fitted seamlessly into the group when he first come in. He's very well liked. He's a bit of a quirky guy. Typically they are from Perth. We kind of give it to him a bit. So we love him. We're really excited to see what he can bring on Thursday.
Tell us you're going to keep celebrating, and particularly for a showdown in front of a home crowd.
What was that, sorry?
Tell us you're going to keep celebrating the way that you do. I know that's been a
I'm
hot
so
topic for
sorry.
the
He
last
speaks
week or so.
really fast sometimes. I'm lucky to catch every second word.
He's like, I've got a lot to get in for Josh. That's been the hot topic, celebrations and everything that's come with it. Just tell us that you will do one of the most iconic celebrations when you kick one of your excellent goals, particularly in a showdown.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the home crowd. I always love it. But for some reason, I do love playing in the away games when the Port have the home deck with all their fans. I love it for some reason.
Yeah.
So when the
Yeah.
crowd's against you,
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah.
in a showdown, then you get off on that, so to speak.
Yeah, those wins feel a lot better for some reason. I don't know why, for me personally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, before we let you go, Josh, just a quick word on your departing former skipper, Rory Sloane. You must have had a big influence on you as well.
Yeah, it was quite an emotional day having Rory obviously announce his retirement and have all his family there with Belle and the kids. I got really close with his kids, especially little Sonny. He's such a little
so
cute boy, and
Yeah.
being locker buddies with Rory, he has had such a great influence on my career the day I first got to the club, and I'm going to miss him very much, but I'm sure we'll keep in touch.
Disappointing way to end, in the sense that you'd want to hope that your career doesn't come to a point where it's like, I have to think about something like my eyesight or my health as opposed to doing the game I love. Difficult choice to make.
Oh, so difficult, especially the last couple of years now with the concussions and those guys retiring from those type of things. But yeah, these days your health comes first. So fingers crossed we can have a smooth career.
Unfortunately, Hazy wasn't faced with that choice. He was just told, that's probably enough from you, mate.
Yeah. Well, not through lack of trying, though. Hey, Josh, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Josh.